All right, we are live. Happy Thursday. If you guys been following the show, you know what we refer to Thursday as, and that's Thirsty Thursday. Thirsty for knowledge, thirsty for success in our goals, thirsty for a better life. Welcome to the School of Shred. This is episode 23. And today, we're going to be talking about a silent assassin of weight loss. And there's a few of them, but I want to go over one in particular that's a pretty low-hanging fruit that you can pick today and be one step closer to your goals by tonight. So welcome to the show, everybody. I want to do a quick roll call before we start. If you guys are watching this live, please go ahead and comment where you're at, where you're from, where you're listening from. Let's congregate. Let me know where Shred Nation is. Good morning. Throw a flex emoji in the comments. I like to see some muscle nice and early. This show is coming at you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And if you want to take us on the go, you can take us on the go on the podcast app and Spotify. So please go subscribe to the podcast app today and do a review. Okay, if you guys go do a review on the podcast app on iTunes or Apple, I'm going to hook you guys up with something. So it helps the show get placed. And we've been having some technical difficulties with Facebook, which is a great platform that I like to utilize. But we need to build the following up on the podcast app for people who just want to listen and go on the go. So take it on the go. So anyway, please go ahead and do that. If you guys are interested in hearing more about the school, go to schoolofshredpodcast.com. You can learn more about the show, and you can also learn more about the school and kind of what we do. So last thing before we start is remember, tomorrow we have our Q&A Friday. So today, if you guys can go ahead and start writing some questions in, it'd be much appreciated. We're going to go over them tomorrow. So every Friday is a full Q&A session with your guys' questions. So ask today, throw them in the comments here, or you can direct message me and we will vet them today and go through them tomorrow. So with that said, let's start episode 23. A silent assassin of weight loss is beverages and drinks. Yeah, this one can be painful to have to address. Beverages are a great way to add a bunch of extra calories and sugar to the diet and not really even know it. And so sodas and other high sugar drinks, a lot of which that if you're watching this, you probably have already tried to do away with, like sodas and things like that. But I want to get into some things that you might not be thinking about that might be contributing to your overall calories and really overall insulin levels and blood sugar. So your efforts with fat loss are going to be greatly decreased, and your success is going to be decreased if you are spiking insulin. And a great way to control insulin is to control blood glucose throughout the day. Okay, so this is why we're going to go over a lot of these high sugar drinks. And so why are we going to address beverages today? As I said, they're low-hanging fruit. Okay, they're low-hanging fruit for building healthy habits. So they come easy. It's like drinking more water. You can do them in the beginning. You can start doing this today. So consider how beverages vary and they spike your blood glucose throughout the day. And just because something has vitamins in it does not mean that it's healthy. Okay, we need to look at how does this affect the system? What's the metabolic process of the what we're consuming? And then what's the nutrition behind it is important, which is what are the vitamins and minerals. High sugar, low fat increases blood sugar rapidly, blocking fat burning and upping fat storage. And so you've heard me talk about when we up our blood sugar and our blood glucose, we're putting insulin to work. And when insulin is working, this hormone sensitive lipase cannot actually break fatty tissue down and get it into energy, the energy cycle and into production to burn. So you're tampering your fat burning ability if you're spiking blood glucose and utilizing insulin. Not to mention you're wearing out insulin, which is such an important hormone in our body. It's the only brake that we have for regulating blood sugar. And so we need to take care of it through high intensity exercise and the way that we eat. And so beverages can throw that off. Most of these drinks that I'm going to list, they contain fructose. Okay. So fructose is going to be metabolized in the liver, and that's going to put a tremendous strain on the liver. For the first time, over the last 20 years, we're starting to see children with fatty liver disease. And that used to be only referred to or only in populations of alcoholism, right? Because alcohol is metabolized in the liver. And so the reason that's happening in kids now is because we are drinking a lot of sugary drinks from a young age. I know I did it. And so it can happen even if you don't drink alcohol. If you're drinking a lot of sugary beverages that have fructose in them, your liver has to metabolize that. Okay. When your liver metabolizes that, it starts to, if it's too much, which it can happen, I'm going to show you how much fructose is in some of these drinks. Your liver doesn't have anywhere to put it but in the liver. So it starts to shuttle this adipose tissue around the liver. And that's really, really problematic. It shuts down liver function over time. So the first thing I want you guys to look at is one of the first beverages is coffee. So if you guys are going to coffee, to any major supplier of coffee, I'm not going to name drop, but all the big ones. Say you go get yourself a white chocolate mocha frappuccino. That's elegant. So you get yourself a grande, which is not even that big, right? A grande with no whipped cream, white chocolate frappuccino is going to give you 290 calories. Now, if you're just worried about calories, that doesn't seem like that much. It's like, that's maybe a snack meal, but you might be able to handle that, right? If you want to budget that out in a 2,000 calorie a day diet or 1,800 calories, here's where I'm going to challenge you with that. In that 290 calories, there's 3 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein. Okay, not bad. There's 61 grams of carbohydrates in a grande white chocolate mocha. 61 grams of sugar. That's 20 grams higher than a can of a full sugar soda. Right here. If you're watching this right now, people who are listening to this, I am holding up a big yellow 1 teaspoon measurement right here. So this is 4 to 7 grams of sugar. Okay, it's definitely bigger than my thumb. It takes up kind of the middle of my hand. It's about as big as my watch. Okay, it's about as big as my watch and about as deep as half of my pinky. And so this guy is 4 to 7 grams. And I just said that this coffee has 61 grams of sugar. By my calculation, that's 15 teaspoons of sugar in this small coffee. If you want to put that in a Ziploc bag, I think you're going to be blown away. And you want your liver to metabolize that and try to rationalize it somehow because it's a part of your overall daily, it's within your calorie limit that somehow it's healthy. This is going to wreak havoc on your blood glucose. It's going to spike it because there's 3 grams of fat. It's not going to slow digestion down. And then your liver is burdened with trying to break all this sugar down. 15 of these guys in a grande white chocolate mocha frappuccino. So, and then the next thing we'll move on to is a vanilla latte, a grande vanilla latte. That's with no whipped cream. So we're looking at 250 calories, 6 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein, 37 grams of carbs, 37 grams of sugar. Okay, so now this coffee basically has as much sugar as a can of soda, in which we already know soda is really bad for you, very high sugar. Fructose, same thing. And so if we move on to something that might be healthy or considered healthy, let's move on to something like Gatorade or any other sports drink in that class, in that family. And so Gatorade doesn't have any fat in it. If you get a standard Gatorade, like a 16-ounce Gatorade, you're looking at 127 calories. Again, calories thing, not really that big of a deal. Depending on timing, I mean, you might argue that you can have it after a workout. If your goal is fat loss, I'd say no. I'd say there's much better sources. And I would say save your carbohydrates for later at night from good sources, because that will relax the CNS and help you get into this parasympathetic rest and digest state. When your goal is fat loss, I would not worry about trying to spike insulin after your workout. Okay. I don't try to spike insulin after my workout. And from a muscular standpoint, I'm doing okay. For a natural guy who's never touched drugs, I'm doing quite fine without having to spike insulin. So we don't need these sugary drinks after a workout. If you are trying to bulk up, that's a different topic, but there's other means as well, not a Gatorade. So anyway, so 127 calories, but you're looking at 26 grams of sugar. And so again, 4 to 7 grams, that's about 4 of these guys full of sugar, which is quite hefty for your body to break down right away. Okay. And that's no fiber, no pit, no peel, no pulp from fruits and vegetables to slow digestion down. There's a reason nature packages things a certain way. So I want you guys to think about that. And all of these drinks are man-made, and we put stuff in them to make them taste better, which is really precisely why they're problematic. Next thing is going to be a 12-ounce glass of organic orange juice. Organic. But it's organic. It's got to be good for you, right? If it's organic, it's better for you, absolutely. Organic food is what we want. I want you to eat organic oranges. You get much more concentrated sugar content from juice than you do from a piece of fruit. And I'm going to get into that here in a second. The issue that you get when you have juice is you have extracted some of the most important components, okay, which is the fibrous food and the fiber, the pit, the peel, and the pulp. You've gotten rid of that, and now you have sugar juice. And it might have vitamin C, but there's a lot of other forms of vitamin C that you can have, and I would recommend that you eat the orange. And so a 12-ounce glass, which is not that big, a 12-ounce glass of organic orange juice will provide you with 165 calories, 0 grams of fat to slow digestion down, and 40 grams of carbs. 31 of those 40 grams of carbs are pure sugar, fructose, metabolized in the liver. So trying to get your daily vitamin C from a glass of juice is just, it's not a good idea, you guys. I'm sorry to say it, because a lot of people are probably taking steps towards getting off it. And if you're taking a step in the direction and you're utilizing juice right now, then good on you. Shout out to everybody who's trying to do their best. But I'm just trying to bring this up because if you're drinking this every morning and you think that, you're getting healthier, it's marginal compared to if you were to drink a soda in the morning. If you were to drink a soda in the morning and supplement with vitamin C, you're basically getting the same thing as a glass of orange juice. So I would recommend that you try to get away from this orange juice thing, and we'll kind of get into what you can do instead. So anyway, that's orange juice. And the last thing I'll get into, number 5 for these beverage assassins to weight loss, is coconut water. I love coconut water. I love coconuts. I love coconut butter. I love coconut oil. I consume it probably daily. Coconut water is awesome. If you empty the tank in a high intensity sporting event, like when I do jujitsu, I will consume it. But if my goal is fat loss, I really stay away from it. Okay, so if I'm trying to actually lose weight, you got to get to a point where you deserve your carbs. And so coconut water, it falls in the same class. So 10 to 12 ounce bottle or can of coconut water, pick your brand, is 70 calories, 0 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbs, 17 of those carbs are sugar. So there's no fiber in it to slow digestion down. There's no fat to slow digestion down. When you consume this stuff, it's just going to shoot your blood glucose up through the roof. Depending on how insulin sensitive you are, your blood sugar could stay elevated for a while and keep you out of fat burning mode, or it could drop back down. Either way, you have just taken a detour on maximizing fat burn because you're not controlling your glucose levels. And so that's coconut water. So instead, what I would like for you guys to do and give you guys a couple options to explore is try these instead. So when it comes to your coffee, black coffee is about 5 calories per cup. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's not going to shoot your blood sugar up. You can add whipping cream, which is calorically dense. So you do want to notice that. But if you were to do 2 tablespoons of that with some black coffee and a tablespoon of stevia, you would be coming in about 100 calories, 12 grams of fat, 0 carbs, no insulin spike here, no blood sugar spike. You can take your blood sugar and test it and figure out what works for you, but you're going to be stable and you're going to give yourself clean energy to start the day. So I would recommend that you do that. That's something that I personally do, is add whipping cream to my morning coffee. There's also a cool option, which is chocolate stevia sauce. If you guys want to make like kind of a mocha with the whipped cream or whipping cream, you can find that on Amazon. It's got like a purple label, and like I said, it's a chocolate sauce. So good option over time. You want to limit stevia use as well if you can, but it's a great option in the beginning. So just don't overdo it, you guys. So the next thing would be sparkling water. Sparkling water is a great beverage. It's a bubbly beverage. You can add a lime. You can add lemon. It's calorie free. You can infuse water. That's another option. So you guys can soak nice, good, clean water in strawberries, blueberries, cucumbers, lemon. If you want a little bit of flavor with your water, if that encourages you to drink more, go for it. And then number 4 is going to be iced tea. And so one thing that you can do with iced tea that I've done is you can sweeten it with stevia. And what you do is you just boil 1 gallon of water. After you boil it, you steep 4 or 5 tea bags for a couple of minutes. And then you mix in 1/2 to 1 cup of stevia in the raw, however much you want, or you don't have to put the sweetener in it if you don't want to. But anyway, 1/2 to 1 cup stevia in the raw, which is optional. You can also use monk fruit, play around with that, explore it, and then add another cold gallon of water. So you have like a 2-gallon thing of iced tea that's got no sugar in it, and you can have that when you need to. And then, oh yeah, water. Nature's original energy drink, H2O. You guys have ever seen Water Boy? There's that scene where it says water sucks, Gatorade's better. Well, all these drinks suck, water's better. So I encourage you guys to drink more water. If we can drink more water, our bodies are going to be better for it. So I've gone over before. We have a lot of water in our body, like 70% water. Of that 70%, 65% is intracellular water, and then 35% is extracellular water. Okay, so a lot of water in our bodies, especially when we're lifting weights and we're working out. We need to be hydrated. Being hydrated helps the metabolic process of burning fat. And so if you can replace any of these drinks I've listed that you might be utilizing, or similar ones, with water, you're going to be better for it. Okay. So that's all we got for today. That is the silent assassins of weight loss. Okay. Beverages and drinks, they could be killing your weight loss efforts and you don't know it. And so what I want you to do today is examine your day, examine the beverages you drink. And it might be enlightening. And this is something that's very simple that you guys can work on starting today to become better by tonight. Okay. And unlock your fat burning potential. So that is it for this episode of the one and only School of Shred. I'm your host, John Reed. go ahead and jump over on the podcast app and give us a review. I'll hook you guys up. Just give me your email and a direct message. Ask your questions. We got a Q&A tomorrow that we're going to be going over for Friday. And with that, I want you guys to stay strong and healthy in body. Stay relentless and energized in spirit. And stay determined in your pursuits. That spells shred. Now go shred your day and get better in every way. We'll see you guys tomorrow.